some baseball.
Here we go. Philly special. Ready?
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Good evening. It's Thursday, May 22nd, 2025, and welcome to another episode of the Northeast Philly podcast, brought to you on the Broken Bell Network. Tonight, we're joined by our special guest, author and Corner Pub Sports podcast host, Sean Selby, and Philly podcast co-host and Broken Bell Network co-founder, Eric Perugini. Did I get it? All right. For tonight's special draft. This draft will make your skin crawl, your heart skip a beat, and the brown stuff roll down your pant legs.
Oh my
and
God.
no, we are not drafting the Rocky movies. Tonight is all about the horror movies, so grab your favorite pillow to hide behind and enjoy the show. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? Eric, Sean, welcome.
Nice to have me.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And
Nice to have me.
Nice to have me. That's good. Yeah, nice
job on the intro, man. That was a good
Thank
job.
you.
That was good.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing he's good at.
Did I catch him start with kind of good evening?
Yes.
He did.
I tried to keep it going for a little bit, but I was like, no, this is just bad now. So
Sean, you do voices. How would you have done? How would you have gone there on that intro with a?
Oh, I like the Dracula thing. Good evening. 1, 2, like the Count from Sesame Street, but not real, Dracula.
So of all the soundboards that you two have, the fact that neither of you have the "I'm gonna come" Trump soundboard.
Yeah. I know you called me out on that. I need to add that. Definitely need. Definitely need to add that to the board for sure.
Yeah.
I have
a couple.
I keep notes in my phone, and I'm like, whenever I hear something or I'm watching a movie, I'm like, oh, I gotta jot that down. I gotta add that to the soundboard.
There's a couple, Sean, I need to get. There's a couple. I want to get a couple of Shane Gillis's, especially him doing Trump. Him doing I like when they were men and they used to have gay sex. Those. I think there are certain ones out there that are gems that I need to dial in and put on the board. What's your go-to? Do you have yours queued up?
Oh, 100%. I'm starting it up now. But 100%, you hear these things and you're like, oh, I gotta write that one down. I gotta jot that down. I was actually doing Trump in the car on the way home the other day. The kids were dying, and my son's 8. He's like, you sound just like him, and I was doing whispering Trump, not like loud Trump, And
sometimes I do it and I don't even realize it. I'll break out into them. And then it's the hands take over.
It's the hand. I'm doing. My hands. Yeah. They just do it. They're like, "What the hell you do?" I was like, "You can't do it without the hands."
You gotta do like an accordion.
Listen, my favorite Shane Gillis soundbite is "Fuck you, Go Birds." When he was at that show and he was like, "I wasn't expecting that," and then he all booed him.
Great.
Well, I was gonna say when he was doing the Trump one, and it was an old joke. It's before he got shot at, and he said, that he'd be the funniest president to ever get shot because he's like, I hate gay people. He does the sound, and then then he got shot, and he's like, I guess I can't break that joke out anymore.
And then he broke it out anyway. That was the best part.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
All right. So as JV said, we are doing our horror movie draft night tonight. So as always, the boys do not know what order they are going in. So we are gonna fire up the old wheel of random. It is gonna be snake format. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 starts off round 2, so on, so forth. If you don't understand, I don't know what else to tell you. Let's go for
who goes
lucky.
first?
Lucky number 1. I disabled it. There's a nice little sound effect with a drum roll and everything.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
I call
Yeah, baby.
bullshit.
There we go. Look at you, you gorgeous thing.
Number one in
Didn't
your
this
heart.
happen the
number one in
last time
charts.
when the
Let's
guest
go.
got the number one pick?
You don't love Sean. You love the idea of him. Let's take him off of the board and go with pick number 2. 2 and 3 are doozies.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Same thing happened the last time.
Oh man, I'm so sorry for that.
This is that's how we
no,
ended
you're
up
not.
with like 9 Rockies in the sports movies. They should never.
Rocky takes Halloween.
One of these guys is going to end up being a winner, but it's really just a wheel of losers now.
Drum roll.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. Okay.
All
I'm the
right.
third best person here.
Okay, Fuzzy, and just to make sure we're not cheating, there we go. So
I'm number 1 in the second round.
So as stated, we have Eric, we have Sean, we have Fuzzy, we have JV, and that's going to be our official draft board for the evening. I will, I'll actually make it look nice. So we will update that as we go along, round by round, to make sure that everything is on the up and up. Do you guys feel comfortable about this, or what are we talking?
How many rounds?
7 rounds, real simple.
Okay. All right.
Yep, we're not
That's
gonna.
good. I got like 30 names written down, so that's good.
Yep, and there's gonna be honorable mention rounds, so don't feel like you are. When you see where it goes and what may be heavy hitters or not, you don't have to really pull out, and you know what's going to end up. But I will tell you
never pull
this:
out.
I will.
That's how I ended up with a third kid.
Yeah.
I will just say this: Fuzzy's a sneaky son of a bitch. Now, Eric, I'm not sure. Don't worry about JV whatsoever. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. So, Sean, you have the floor and with the first overall pick.
Should I make everyone wait until the end like they do in the NFL? And then just
Do you have like a really good speech?
Yeah, so this one's easy for me. It's my all-time, not only one of my all-time favorite horror movies, but one of my all-time movies in general. I love the feel of the movie. The score is amazing. It was low budget, and they made it into a complete monster. Shouldn't be a surprise to those who know me well. I dropped the ball. I should have brought the mask out. I'm going to original Halloween. That's my number one pick.
And you know what? That was my number one pick. Listen, they had a budgeted movie and they spray painted a William Shatner mask.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
that-
sir. I'm looking forward to signing my number one pick and seeing what we can bring out in the next couple of years out of it. You know what I mean?
That's an excellent pick. I think that spawned an entire genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
The unstoppable beast. It just put dread and fear. Jason Voorhees is definitely what iteration he became. As definitely is
Wrong guy. Wrong guy.
No, I just said he is modeled around Mike Myers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying.
I know what you said. I know what you said, Keith.
Yeah,
I know
thank
what
you.
you meant. I know what you
No,
meant.
I said exactly. A whole generation is modeled around it. Jason Voorhees is modeled around Mike Myers, 100%. If you don't believe it,
baby.
if you don't believe it, just go ahead and rewatch the movies in the correct order, and you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good pick.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
pick.
you.
What's funny is Fuzz was talking all this shit in our group chat saying, "Oh, nobody's gonna make my picks." He just admitted that Sean's number one pick was his pick.
I know you
So-
two weren't picking them. The fuck out of here.
Okay.
Sean, no shame here, no judgment, but nothing but high regard. Great pick.
Thank you.
Eric, hard number one to follow.
That is a hard number one to follow. That would have been my number. That would have been my choice too if I had the first pick. That's my all-time favorite horror franchise. There's just something about Mike Myers that is just so cool.
Yeah.
But for me,
Oh.
I'm going with The Exorcist. That is legit one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life. I I love that whole thing. It was based on off of a true story, and that's just some scary shit. I mean, like being possessed and all that kind of stuff. Like that's just some scary stuff right there. So I went with that. They call it the scariest movie ever made, so I was going with it.
I got a question for you guys at the end of the first round, but this is good because this is good stuff. We're gonna maybe hopefully uncover some trauma.
So I'll say this about The Exorcist. I wasn't a fan of it. It is what it is. But the score is right up there with Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Right up there.
I would have to
And
agree with
that-
Foz on that. Like, it was not my favorite of the movies. Never really truly enjoyed it. Like, appreciated what it was, but it was not my cup of tea. But
The
I
music,
can-
the
yeah.
music was phenomenal. And then, and just to backtrack on Sean's first pick, the Halloween. I was 19 years old. I was hanging out in Summerdale. I was walking back from it was on Halloween night, and there was like five of us, 19-year-old men, and I'm walking down Carver Street, and there's a guy walking down with a jumpsuit and a white Michael Myers mask. And guess who got out of the way? The five dudes were like, nope. Nope. No. I'm not playing that fucking game. I am not even attempting it. Moving right out of the way, and we did.
Scrawny little nothing white dude underneath it. You all could have kicked his ass with one arm behind your back, but
Nope.
for some reason that jumpsuit
mask.
and that mask, forget it.
You're not trying it. You're not trying it.
But I think the other thing at The Exorcist too is the religious stuff that surrounded it, the people, protesting it and all that stuff and taking it too serious, because God forbid, it's a movie and, you don't listen to what the movie has to say. But I'm going to listen to what your book says. I digress. All that just kind of surrounding it and just added to all the drama and the taboo of the movie. And, when her head spins around,
the church wanted banned.
that's right. That's right.
Right,
When
when her
she's
head
on the floor at the beginning, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a treat.
when her head turns around and James Woods is the priest who comes in and is like, fuck this. Oh wait, wrong movie. Sorry.
Great pick. That leaves shitty spot number 3 to Fuzzy.
So this is going to be a dead giveaway. This was my number 2 pick. This movie legitimately, I don't care who you are, changed an entire generation of how you drive on the highway.
Fucker.
Changed an entire generation of how you drive on the highway. Because
100%.
there is in no way no one's driving behind a logging truck. It's like, I'm going to stay here. Nah. Nope.
Yeah.
Good girl. Good girl. She's bringing you beverages.
She did.
Good girl. Well trained. Well trained. Well done. You have done well in your fatherly duties.
But yes, Final Destination 2 is my pick. Like, listen, we've all moved out of the way. We've hit that turn signal. Whoop, and sped to go away from it. Plain and simple.
2. Never mind.
2.
Yeah, it was
Just
2.
two.
Yeah.
I took
Okay.
Final
Okay.
Destination 2.
That was the opening scene, right, of part 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. The Final Destination is one of those ones that, like, I think you can watch 1 and 2, skip straight to the last one, and you're like, oh, this is all really good.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly the new one ties all the movies in.
I think that's what I'm. Oh, you're talking
Hence
about the one
whole
that's going to be coming
Bloodlines
out.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The name Bloodlines makes sense.
Yeah. There's a whole fan base out there that tells you there's certain watching order for that to be to make it feel whole, and I get it. There's horror. There's horror aficionados.
I like the chronological or stories, but I also there's still something to be said about the way movies are just released and the order and watching them in the order they were released.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you start watching, you go back and you watch the first one again, you really appreciate it differently and more. So you're starting to watch for these little clues that they pulled out and used in a future part of the franchise.
Sure, but you're fucked if you watch all the Terminator movies and think that's going to be a good watch. Like at some point, you're taking one for the team.
Yeah. Not saying you're not. I'm just saying that I just said there's, I enjoy watching them in their theatrical and in their chronological. So,
Oh, such a movie purist. Take us to
Yeah.
pick number 4, JV.
all right. Well, I'm keeping it in that same family. I do like the movies that kick things off a little bit more than I like sequels, and so I'm going with the first Final Destination.
Okay. I thought you were going to go in a different direction. Similar. We'll see if it comes up. If not, I'm going to write that. I'm going to mark that one down just in case. Yeah, because there's another one in that same vein that came around the same time, and I wasn't sure we were going to go with that one. So, all right.
I mean, listen, these are all actually really good. I just want to sum it up. Here's our first round before we go with JV's second pick and also the kickoff to round 2. But Halloween for Sean, Exorcist for Eric, Final Destination 2 for Fuzzy, Final Destination for JV. So I'm just gonna go with the first 2 because I think we were all in our whatever early 20s or something variation of that. How old were you when you first saw Halloween, and where were you?
I was like 6 or 7. My
Jesus fuck.
my dad had it on video, and it was edited because there was no boobies. But the rest of that movie's not gory anyway, so there was no massive gore or anything that was cut out. It was the same movie, just no boobies. And I was hooked. I mean, honestly, I was hooked from a very young age. So
Yeah, the best thing about that movie was the stalking. Like that's what scared the shit out of me.
That camera
the
angle.
suspense.
The camera
Yeah.
angle. Yeah, you saw through the mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, go ahead, keep talking. I'm
Yeah.
listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you figure with how it started and how it ended, like you go through like how if you remember how the movie originally ends, it goes you hear his breathing and it goes to all the spots where he was. And I think I rented it from the video store. I think I might have been 10. I walked up Somerdale Avenue.
West Coast Video.
Yeah, it might have been
Errol's.
and that scared the ever living shit out of me. I was like, I'm taking this right back. I walked right back up and it was like, nope.
It was daylight. There was still daylight and checking behind bushes.
dude, like as a kid, my cousin and I, as kids, would go to the. I think it might have been a West Coast Video near us. It was on Knights Road, and it might have been something. I don't remember what it was called now. Maybe it wasn't West Coast.
Movie?
So it was. Yeah, I don't. I don't remember. But we would sit and we call it the rated R section, and it was just all the horror movies, and we just sit there and look at all the covers. We weren't allowed to rent them because we were underage, but we would just flip the tape over and look at it, and then whatever. And then once in a while we get lucky, where one of our parents would rent it for us and go home and watch it, and then jerk each other off.
That's your first D2T, right?
That's right. That's
Right.
exactly it.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, well, my
Learned about
first
pop.
introduction to Halloween was I was 8 years old. I was going to be going for Halloween. I was at my aunt's house, and one of her sons, one of my cousins, Bill. They had a tradition where they would always on Mischief Night. They would watch this movie, but in the dark with a candle lit. That was my introduction to watching Halloween. I was like, "What are we watching?" And not only was I
Come
scared
here, young
shitless,
child.
yeah. So they just like tattooed "fucked for life" on my face, right? So, but what got me about the movie was the way that Carpenter was able to cinematically tell the story. The camera angles, like when he would just like come out of the shadows and you would slowly see the mask coming out. That did it for me. I mean, I pissed my pants for a month and a half, but every time I went to sleep, I was afraid to look in my closet. But yeah, that was my introduction to Halloween.
The doorway scene when she's in the doorway and his mask just comes out of the darkness. Like, yeah. Like,
Did you
no
know
one
there?
did something like that.
Did you know there were 2 different versions because they had when they released it on TV, they had to add footage.
Okay.
Yes,
Listen, I'm not cutting you off, Sean. Sean, you can talk for as long as you want. Chris, shut your mouth. I only wanted to do this for the first round and give it some air, but shut your mouth. Let Sean talk.
But he's right. There was a scene where Michael Myers as a child was in the room and he turns but why did they take that away? And wasn't there something else too, like in the classroom or something? I forget. There was
All
another.
right, so they added that to add time to the movie because they had to make it a 2 hour. So it was that, and it was Lori as a kid, like she was in there, and then the scene in the school was whatever. I can't think of the name.
Doesn't it write saying hi on the window on the blackboard? That's what it was.
Right,
In blood or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a couple of like edits for time and but yeah,
And boobies taken out.
and boobies, right?
And boobies. No boobies.
No boobies.
Boobies. All right, so JV, very exciting. If I was going to give this, I'd give this round a C plus. There are two titles in the first round that I think are not first round worthy, but you guys are eager beavers. And JV, first pick of round 2.
All right, so this one, it kind of changed the way a lot of movies were made for a little while. It was the first one to come out of the found footage feel of movies. And it's another one where they just took a $0 budget, made millions of great marketing. I even enjoyed the storyline. Like I thought it was well done. I like Blair Witch Project.
I thought it was fucking stupid.
Well, that's fine.
As soon as you said found footage, I knew that was coming.
Well, I mean, obvious. I mean, it's really the first one where it was kind of that string of a bunch of found footage movies, and they still kind of break them out every now and again to do them.
What was
again.
this, 99?
Is
Is that what this came out? 99?
99 or 2000, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, they just had the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
Listen, the marketing behind it was genius.
That's what it was to me. The marketing.
Other than that, it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I was not impressed with it at all. I saw it in the movie theaters, and I was like, "What the hell are we watching?"
I was like, someone owes me $8.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd be 16, right?
I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of obvious what was going on throughout the movie, but it doesn't make it less
Was it?
enjoyable when you can sit back.
How the fuck was it obvious to you? People walked away going, wait, so was it real? Like, what?
I don't know. I could tell that it didn't feel real completely, like, at least to me. But
Oh, no one thought
I
it was
can
a
see it.
snuff film. Like, there's no such. No, they're not
It's
going to.
hoping it was.
Yeah, right.
people would.
Listen. Okay, I was expecting to see it. Not the second round. Okay. Fuzz.
This movie is actually a remake, and it's actually a sequel. And I wasn't really scared the first time I watched it. The second time when I watched the remake and then I watched the sequel scared the shit out of me. And I was watching it like 1 o'clock in the morning, folding laundry, and that's it, chapter 2. Fuck that movie. That's all I had to say about that.
yeah,
Those movies are pretty good. Those are really good. Like I remember when they had the TV movie
It
that
was
came
really
out.
good. Yeah.
Tim Curry nailed it. I
Awesome.
thought Skarsgård
Yeah.
was going to have such a difficult time, and he just made it his own and equally as creepy.
yeah. I decided one time I just wanted to listen to the audio book of it, which, by the way, is
Fuck that.
40 hours.
Yeah.
I did not realize it, but then I got invested and just stayed. And
It's like a work week.
it was, and I was listening like an
For
hour
who?
a
Not
day
me,
driving
dude.
to and from work. It was
It's like
brutal.
3
but,
work weeks.
but it got me wanting to watch. I went and watched the TV series for it, and then I watched the movies when they came out. And oh man, the whole thing fucked me up.
and
You
like
look at
the-
Seward's the wrong way now.
Right. And you just look at the storyline. They were like, "Oh, we're going back to Oregon," and then one dude's like, "Nah, I'm committing suicide. I'm out." I didn't even hesitate. He was like, "I'm out." Say it. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it. He was like, "Nah." I'm like, "God
And it was
damn."
intriguing to see what they were going to do with the professions of the characters.
Yeah.
From from the movie and from the book to the new movie to the TV show. It was kind of interesting how they adjusted some of them and adjusted their storylines. So.
Just watch the trailer. They're coming out with a series on
Prequel.
HBO.
Welcome to
Prequel.
Derry.
Welcome to Derry. Yeah, it looks cool.
Skarsgård's back again, right?
Yeah, yep. It's one of those rarities, but HBO is really good at doing that. They got Colin Farrell for Penguin, which was awesome. So listen, you flash enough money, guys. People don't care about whether it's TV or the movie anymore. It doesn't pay the right amount.
Right. Are the royalties there? Are they going to get paid when they're not working?
Yeah.
Silver screen, golden screen. Who gives a shit? Just put me on a screen and give me money. Eric, what do you got? Can you beat it? Chapter 2.
I think I can. My pick is going to be a movie that I absolutely love watching. It's a psychological mindfuck, as I like to call it, and you see the characters' progression going backwards into insanity throughout the entire movie, and it culminates with him becoming a frozen popsicle at the end of the movie. The Shining.
I thought you were gonna go Empire Strikes Back.
No.
You know Stephen King absolutely hates Kubrick's Shining.
He does.
Yeah.
He absolutely does. But I mean, I thought it was really well done. I mean, the movie really didn't do the book any justice, but I thought the movie was really well done. And another thing with the cinematography, like, you know, it's how you tell the story, like, because there was really no honest soundtrack for it. It was just this guy going nuts from the hotel. I mean, you have this hotel to yourself, so this guy can write. Yeah, red rum, right? Yeah, I mean that freaked me out. Like every time when I would wake up after I saw that movie, I was expecting to see this kid standing next to my bed. I absolutely love that movie.
I'll punch it, baby. Right in
Old
the face.
lady, the old lady scene, and
Yeah.
and the rabbit or the bear costume, and like all that stuff they just kind of threw in there real quick, you know, and the quick
Yeah.
flash. You're like, yo, what was that? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It
I
was.
I love The Shining.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was just that slow progression of him like just like going insane, and then at the end of the movie when they focus in on that group photo, and there he is sitting in the very front of the photo, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like that was just awesome.
Didn't they redo it and put it on TV? Didn't they do a remake? I didn't watch it. I refused. Like, I think
saw the-
Shining's a classic, and I feel like Jack Nicholson killed that part, and I just couldn't watch it.
know they
Yeah, I
tried
think
to-
they
a
did.
bootleg kind of version of that with Johnny Depp and the broken window or the empty window or something like that.
I think
it's
you're
Broken
right.
Window. Yeah,
and then
it was completely the same thing. And I'm just like,
Doctor.
yeah, come on.
What was Doctor Sleep? Was the sequel, which
Yes,
I didn't really care for it. I didn't think it was all that good.
I didn't like that at all either.
Yeah.
I was excited to watch that, and I felt disappointed, kind of like Keith with The Shining. I mean, what you call it? Not The Shining, with Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
The Shining, the people. That's I think some of people's first forays into horror as younger. The blood scenes are crazy.
Great
Some of the
scene.
visual effects Kubrick did for it were groundbreaking. I watched guys who did CGI to try to mimic the blood scene and how they only had one shot to get it right, and they said that's insane, and it was miraculous to get it off. I appreciate it for that. Kubrick's just weird to me. I never quite got him.
Yeah, he's a strange cat.
Strange cat. It's a fair thing to say. Sean, this is a big moment for you. One pick could just make everything those guys just said completely irrelevant. You know that, right?
I do.
Okay. All right. So,
We'll see what happens.
Shador Sanders.
So I'm.
no, this is round 2, so we gotta.
Yeah, we gotta come around.
Too early.
Still
Okay.
got 13 rounds.
Yeah, we'll give that to next year.
I battled man, there's so many good ones here, and I know some of them are gonna be taken after this round here. All right, so I'm gonna go with the sequel here, and the reason why I'm going the sequel over the original is because I felt the graphics were better, the storyline was awesome,
Toy Story 2.
the ending, what happens at the end, and the visuals back. It still creeps me out to this day. The kills are so much better. I'm going Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
You
Dream-
son of a bitch. That
Dream
was my
Warriors.
next pick. I fucking hated Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2, and I'm like, ain't no way. This is now 2. I talk so much shit today. Like, no one's going to take my picks. No one's going to fucking pick Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. No one's going to fucking pick that.
Okay, first of all, why wouldn't someone pick one of the best ones other than Freddy 6? Freddy's dead.
Right.
And do you remember who sang the theme song?
To Freddy 6 or to Dream Warriors?
Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
Dawkins sang.
I did know that. I did know.
But the puppet scene, remember the dance and the kills, the TV.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
kills.
they were really elaborate.
Yeah. But that one's yeah.
It was the most creative kill since Johnny Depp went through a bed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
That
Can
one
I-
messed
can
a
I go-
lot of people
Yeah.
up.
And can I be a dick and double back on the other one? I don't think I'm going to.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to.
Listen to me.
Listen. That's a really for me. That's a really good pick. Like, you know, it's. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1, and I was like, all right, this is what it is. And then I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and I was like, what the fuck? He's killing people at a pool party?
And
What?
it's someone inside someone else's body.
Right, and I
That
was
was
like,
a cool effect, though.
It was
the
coming
body
out.
Thing.
When it comes out.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool.
but then I was like, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and that's another one I remember being up late on HBO. And wasn't Zsa Zsa Gabor in that? Like, wasn't she the mom?
She was, yeah.
Right, and she gets
Yes,
her
it
head
was.
cut off in the one dream sequence.
Correct.
Like it's such a and it actually had a storyline to it. Like, you find out about Amanda Kruger and the reason why her son is so fucked up. You
Yup.
motherfucker. You're never coming on again.
Yep.
Great pick.
Thank you.
That puts you back on the clock, my friend.
All right. Man. I am battling here. All right, I'm going to go with this one because my first pick was Halloween, but the real Kickstarter to that whole slasher series, the whole slasher genre, is another low-budget movie, and it's still to this day creepy as hell. Again, because of the way it was shot, and not even because of the killer himself, but because of the family involved too. I got to go to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a good
I
pick.
got to go Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That movie's so creepy. The redneck family and the apologies to any rednecks, but they don't have internet anyway, so they're not watching.
No.
So, you know, I just I got to go Texas Chainsaw. I mean, that movie's just so creepy. The leather face, the wearing the different outfits and the skin, human skin hung up, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Good choice. I like it.
It's we're not counting remakes and things like that. Do you feel like the remake did the original justice, or there was no need for it?
I like the remake too. And actually, someone when I put on Facebook that I was coming on your show, someone did comment and said, Jessica Biel. Because I was like, okay.
No.
So she was great in that movie, but the original, just the graininess and the grittiness of that first one.
Well, and wasn't there like another one? And I'm gonna cripple her name, Alexandria Daddario.
Daddario.
Oh,
she?
yeah.
Was she?
I'm
was
actually
she-
watching her on a show right now.
She's like a distant relative, and at the end, like, she's about to be attacked, and she's like, "Yo, cuz, go take care of this," and it's fucking Leatherface.
That's cool.
I remember that scene. Yeah.
One of the funnest facts that I have about the original OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre is it's narrated by John Larroquette.
Yep.
I love it.
Dan Felding.
Dan Felding.
Like,
Yep.
I remember watching that at Halloween over. Like, I would go over. We would have a big. My friend would have a big Halloween party, and that'd be like the movies they rent. And they're chasing in the one scene. I don't know if it was one or two. They're in a truck chasing people down. with his fucking chainsaw and shit.
It might be like the second one. I don't remember that in the first one.
And
I
by
think it
the
was
way,
That's
big
cool, though.
big fan of chainsaws and those hay rides and haunted houses. Great effect, easy.
Oh, yeah.
easy propped. Everyone screams.
And not
everyone-
even just
So-
not even just him, but like the grandfather, like is like a, just sitting there and he's drooling, and they're feeding him human, whatever the hell they're feeding him at the dinner table, and it's just nasty. And
It was gross.
Yeah.
It was gross.
So real quick, you brought up chainsaws. I was 14. We were at a Halloween party. It was a house. If anybody knows where Castor Avenue is by Juniata Park, it was the house. There was a Pizza Hut and a Wawa, and my buddy's house was his parents' house was next to it. So we would all like go through the woods because it was a Halloween party. Well, jerk off's dad fucking got out there before us. He had a chainsaw with no chain and scared the ever living shit out of us in the middle of the woods. Needless to say, it was the fastest I've ever ran in my life. I'm pretty sure I ran over 4 people.
Love it. I always say to survive one of those attacks, people are so stupid. You just survive. Just don't be the slowest.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, right.
JV,
Let's get
Yeah,
you're
no,
fucked.
like, a lot of You ever watch these guys, like these slashers? They get whoever's the slowest just goes first. They still keep coming. Eventually, they walk their ass up to the fastest one and still get them.
I'm coming day and night.
They keep coming.
There we go.
They keep
There we
coming.
go. Eric, take us to your third pick.
Okay, my third pick. Whew, this one, I'm going to give it away, but made me think twice about going into the water. When Jaws.
Yep.
That was another one. That was another movie where they ran into so many problems making this movie off the shoreline of Martha's Vineyard, and they had to change everything because the shark, the mechanical shark, aka Bruce, for all the Jaws historians that are out there, was constantly broke. So they had to change every single angle on the fly, and it was some of the best cinematography ever. The suspense in that movie, starting from the girl getting attacked when she goes skinny dipping in the beginning of the movie, that like the slow progression of when you actually see the shark is terrifying. Is just absolutely terrifying. And then there's just that one little scene where they're shooting the shark to get the drums, the barrels on it, and it's just one quick shot where it swings towards the camera. Scared the shit out of me. I screamed so loud when I was watching that with my parents. I jumped. My popcorn went flying. I was like, I'm done. I can't watch it. I thought I was going to die in every pool I went into.
Every pool.
I'm surprised he didn't go Jaws for the revenge over the original Jaws. You know what I mean? The shark follows them to Florida, the Bahamas. She knows the shark knows she's on a plane and just follows her to Bahamas. And then she falls in love with Michael Caine, despite the fact that her son and her husband were killed by the shark. She's now fallen in love with Michael Caine. And then it's sonar and it screams like a monster. It was such a great movie. I'm surprised that was.
It sounded like a dinosaur.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? You married
And then they stab it.
The
Then they stab it.
the best part about that movie was her son, the one who lived, was in the last Starfighter.
Yeah.
Lance
Michael.
Guest.
His name was Michael. Lance Guest. That's
Michael.
right. Yeah. Yep.
It's funny that you said that's the movie that made you not want to swim. Is there any movie that you guys could particularly say, other than Jaws, made you not want to swim? Horror, obviously. Let's stick with the horror.
Piranha.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Anaconda.
honestly, what movies were there at the time? It was Jaws, you had Piranha, you had Orca.
Believe it or not,
In
you
the-
know what fucked me up? Creep Show 2.
The fucking raft.
Raft with the raft. The raft one.
Forgot
with,
about that.
with the blob thing, and and he was getting
I
down with that.
beat you. I
I
beat
beat
you.
you, and that thing, guys, that line, I beat you, and it fucking him up. And then the other one, which was Thanks for the ride, lady. The hitchhiker, that one. But all right, I wasn't sure if there was any other movie that spooked you out like Jaws over the water.
Definitely Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jaws.
Yeah, J Parr checking in. He is a big fan so far of The Shining. He's seen Jaws at Parkwood. Where was Parkwood Movies at? Where was that located? The
Fucking
theater.
ask me.
I think it was in the strip with where the Burger King used to be, and right on Academy Road. I think it used to be right there, next to Decatur.
Really?
I think so.
I didn't know that. That might have been way before my time. I mean, obviously, I remember
It was way before my
GCC
time.
Northeast 4, Orleans 8, the
Do you
Devon
guys
at
remember
some point.
Woodhaven actually being a mall? Do you remember that in the theater,
Yeah.
movie theater inside? Yeah.
Yep.
That I was not there for that, so no.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That I remember it kind of getting the renovated. Some of the structure, the over kind of thing was there for a little bit. They took that down fine, and then it was the Home Depot went full out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It took over.
Yeah. So we have Fuzzy taking his third pick now.
All right, so my next pick is the last 3 minutes of Super Bowl 39. No. My pick has people saying this man's name 4 times, not 5. They're not gonna say that shit in the mirror 5 times. They're gonna say it 4, and that would be Tony Todd's Candyman.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, how much did he get paid for every bee sting? Like $1,000? No, I think that's like not a joke. I think he really said, "I will only put these bees in my mouth if you pay me $1,000 for every sting." And I think he got like somewhere close to like $50,000.
Do you think he made more money getting stung, or did Nicolas Cage?
My eyes! My eyes! Ah!
The Wicker Man?
The Wicker Man.
It was $1,000.
$1,000 per sting, right?
That's fucking.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I hate to
Nope.
be the intern that had to go in and actually count them.
Oh, he fucking
Verify.
told them. He's like, let's just call us an even 50, all right, you fuckers.
Yeah.
And listen, the way that ended with Victoria, whatever her name is, being and killing her husband, and the just in the sink or not in the sink in the tub was just like, man, fuck you, like.
Fuck you. he says.
That made him not want to get married.
Right. And here I am almost 20 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candyman I expected to see somewhere along the line here. Not a terrible pick whatsoever. Does anyone feel like they were robbed of that pick, or
Yeah.
okay? Oh,
That was
nope,
I was lining up. I was waiting.
Someone's
spot.
bitter. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this that Chris came in so fucking confident to this, and he is eating shit right now. That is so good to me. I love it.
picking Candyman. Come on,
You're right.
fuckhead. Yes, they are.
All right, let's roll this out to close out round 3. JV, your third pick.
This one, it's kind of going back along the lines of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the crazy ass family, killing people, killing college students that just rolled out of nowhere, and directed by one of my favorite music artists of all time, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Very good. Very good. I like that one.
I loved the gore factor of it. It was just so gory, like just the things they would do and eat them, and then Sherry Moon Zombie she was still looking good in that too. So, it was a bunch of positives in there.
Wasn't a fan of that, but it's a good pick.
Yeah, Rob Zombie did a nice job with the gore in all his movies. Sometimes he went a little over the top. Like, I loved his first Halloween remake. I hated the second one. Hated it.
They were just like the way he killed that the people in the van and in Halloween 2, the way he killed the people at the strip club. It was
Like
insane.
stomp his face. It was a little over the top, you know. But that's Rob Zombie, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
and you actually see the dude's head like just split apart like a
Explode.
watermelon.
It was
Yeah,
that's all that B-level horror movie stuff like
Mhm.
that stuff was popular in the movies that he was watching because and that just developed him into who he was.
Yeah,
That and working with Pee Wee Herman. So
yeah, that messed someone up.
I know you are, Willie.
Let's this is so far we are almost, clearing house here. JV, break us into a brand new round with the first pick in round 4.
all right. So the next one going a little more of the psycho thriller horror side of it. We've mentioned this movie before as I want to say 90s or 2000s. I forget exactly when it came out. And I think Fuzzy actually had it on there, but this one is Identity. Just I love the way it fucks with you the whole time through the whole movie. And all the way
Identity.
up to the end.
It's Cusack, right? John Cusack's in that. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Identity is 2003. Kingpin, that's what I'm calling him, is the bad guy. But the whole
Private Pile.
Edgar.
Well,
Edgar.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
yeah.
well, I'm not saying that name.
Yeah, I mean it's Vincent D'Onofrio. It's not that hard to say.
Kingpin.
Right? Like,
It's
yeah.
not Perugini.
Nope, it's definitely not Perugini.
Perugini.
Yeah, Identity. So I knew this was going to come out to play. I wasn't sure if it was going to be JV or Fuzzy. I did know it was going to come out to play to some capacity. Sean, your thoughts? Do you classify Identity as suspense, thriller, drama, or would you throw it in the horror section?
I mean, I think it definitely has moments of where, those prone to will jump to it. So I would say like I probably more put it in like the thriller suspense thing, but I still think it fits. Like same thing with Jaws, right? Jaws is more suspense and all that stuff, but people still cast it put it as a horror, because some people were scared of it, and I think the same thing with Identity. I think it's fair to put it in both.
Okay, Eric, where do you lie on that? Would you accept it in horror section if you came across it in the movie store?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely,
What
I
the fuck are you
would.
doing in a movie store, bro?
Right.
Trying to.
Got him.
They shoved a fucking bat down Jake Busey's mouth. If that doesn't scream horror, I don't know what does.
Right.
Okay.
If they're off into people, that's true. Yeah.
It definitely has creep. It definitely has some psychological intensity going to it. But hey, I'm with you.
Who was the chick? in it? Amanda. What?
Amanda Pete.
Pete,
That was
Amanda
it.
Pete,
Yeah, Amanda Pete. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pete. She had those smoky eyes. That takes us to Fuzzy's 4th pick.
So, this pick, all the hype around this character, this movie actress being in it, it's, the next big thing, and the bitch was in it for 5 minutes.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
Scream.
Yep.
Scream.
Yeah. All
Drew
right.
Barrymore. Wes Craven, 1996.
Yep. 1996. Wes Craven. Kevin Williamson wrote he was the screenwriter for it. So he actually, if you go back and you read some of the things about it, the original movie title was Scary Movie, which is hilarious.
Because the
And he-
actual spoof is Scary Movie.
Yes.
Right.
So, and he ended up changing it to Scream in 1995.
It
I'm sure
jumps
the
hard. It
spoof grabbed.
reinvented. It brought horror back to being popular again.
Yep.
Horror movies were kind of going down the tubes. Like I remember, I think Halloween 6 came out right around
It
that
was
same
awful.
time. And it was
Yeah.
bad, and it just tanked, and then
Freddy
Scream
versus
came out.
Jason.
No, that was a
No.
resurgence. That was way after.
Don't you
Scream.
fucking besmirch that motherfucker.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason was 2000s, I believe, or even late 90s.
2003. Yeah.
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah,
I
you have to
love that
remember,
movie.
Jason in New York was, I believe, around this time, schlockiness, punching
89.
dudes' heads straight off into dumpsters. Or we're not quite Jason in space yet. here, are we? That's Jason. That's maybe early 2000s.
That was early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I almost
Jason
walked
in New
out.
York, is that the one where he was standing up out of the limo, waving his hands as he was driving down Times Square?
That was Dunstan checks in, you fool.
And Jason Takes Manhattan was 1989.
89, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Give
like,
me
I'm saying,
that
like, this is
schlock.
around the genre we're getting served. We're still getting schlocky. Actually, we're past schlock, where the schlock has been schlocked, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, Scream is definitely it's a solid pick. It is a reinvention of the genre, reboots it, makes this whole conversation kind of more interesting because it does play on the formula too, right? It actually calls the formula out. And then it just kind of runs the formula back, and you're the fool,
Because then you find out it's multiple killers, and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
right? Oh,
Spoiler alert.
spoilers.
Sorry, the movie's only fucking 40 years old at this point. So, yeah.
30th anniversary here.
That's really fun.
That's a good one. Good one, Fuzz. Eric, how about you take us to your fourth pick?
All right, my fourth pick. This is another one that's a good mind fuck, and it's suspenseful, but it has its jump points, its scare points. I'm gonna go with Sinister. Sinister is one of the, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, but Sinister takes place where Ethan Hawke plays the father of the family. He moves into a house that has a history of murders, and doesn't tell his family this. Doesn't tell the wife, and turns out that there's this guy, Mr. Boogie, or I think the name is Bagul, but they call him Mr. Boogie. He has all these like snuff films that Ethan Hawke finds, and he's watching this guy like basically killing family members. Like the worst one is when he just pulls them all. They're all strapped down to Chase lounges by the pool, and just pulls the whole family into the pool, and they drown.
Mm-hmm.
Then even
Jesus
I mean.
Christ.
Yeah, but the twist is, it's actually one of the family members that's doing the murdering, and he takes their soul and takes that person. So at the end of the movie, Ethan Hawke's entire family gets killed, and here it's the son that's doing the work for this Mr. Boogie, and he takes him off down the hallway, and all these other kids follow, all their souls. I'm like, that's creepy as shit.
Yeah, I saw that was it was like one of those that was kind of putting Ethan Hawke back on the map, and then he started doing quite a few more horror films after that, right? Like I mean,
Yeah.
there's a horror film out there that he kind of has that's really high on the list that some people overlook, but we'll get into that maybe honorable mention area there. What did you guys think about Sinister? Have you seen it?
I saw it when it first came out. I remember liking it. I just don't totally recall. But I mean, as he was describing the parts, I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of do remember that. You know?
When he said the guy, it was like Bagul or Bagel or Baguli or something.
Bagel.
Was it Bagel? It was,
No.
I remember there being like jump scares in it enough to be like, yeah. But I do remember it, and I was like, oh, Ethan Hawke, Reality Bites. I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But now he's all over the place. Very nice. That brings us to Sean. Wow, we're moving along here. Your last pick, but certainly not the last pick.
So
Round four.
when my previous two contestants were talking about psychological, I went, man, they're going to take my movie. And no one did. It's from this clip's from that movie.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
I'm going Silence of the Lambs.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
That movie to me is just, I don't know. It's just a complete mind fuck. From putting the other guy's face on and how he escapes prison and eating people and that whole thing and the backstory. And of course, Buffalo Bill just being a complete creeper. Again,
Hello, Clarice.
Is it a horror movie? You know, I think it's the same situation where it's like suspense. You know, you don't know what's happening, and there's scenes that, you know, like I just said, you know, he's he's killing the guy in the cell and smashing his face through the bar, and then he wears his face and all that. I think that might classify it as a horror movie. In my opinion.
No, it was definitely in the horror section. Very misquoted movie, actually.
Oh yeah.
Just because of our what is it? It's what's that thing where everyone misremembers a scenario and everyone just goes along with it, and they're like, "Yeah, I remember."
Mandela effect.
Yeah,
The
that's it.
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect, right? Wasn't that guy already president? No, he was in jail for that long. By the-
They thought he was dead for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that Silence of the Lambs is, I remember seeing that fairly younger. And in the Buffalo Bill thing, everyone was really hooked on the Anthony Hopkins performance, which of course was great. And even hers is phenomenal.
Mhm.
But Buffalo Bill, like that dude was such a creeper. Like I thought she was a goner. Like he was convincing. Like this guy knew what he was doing. He's got a human suit. She's gonna be another piece of it. Like at this point.
Are you like a size 14? Perfect.
Are you about size 14?
What's that big fat weighty?
He was,
I'm having an old
Fast and
friend for
Furious.
dinner.
Yeah. That's the last line of the movie, right? And he
That's the
hangs
last
up.
line of the movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Fava beans and Chianti.
The census, right? That was the what was it? A census taker tried to test me. I ate his liver.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Some fava beans and Chianti.
And a
It
nice
was-
Chianti. Like what the fuck? Like
That's a good one. Very good pick, Sean. Yeah, definitely horror. I like it. How about
Then he
you
goes
break
and
us?
is the cop in Fast and the Furious.
yes, part 2.
Oh, yeah.
No, the first one.
No, it was this.
Is Paul?
He's
Walker?
Paul Walker's sergeant in the first one.
He's in a couple. He's in Heat. He was in Heat.
Joyride. He was the voice on the
Yeah.
CB.
Oh, where's me again?
Take us into round 5, Sean.
This movie still creeps me out to this day because of how twisted it is. There's one scene that always pops in my head when I think about this movie, and it still makes my stomach just drop because when you're watching a movie, you know when it's a really good movie and you're submerged into it, and you put yourself in that position. I could never imagine myself being in the position of watching my family getting burned alive as I'm sitting there helpless. The Hills Have Eyes. That movie completely creeped completely creeped me out to the point like I've seen it twice and I think I'm good. I don't think I need to see this again. Like it's that creepy. Yeah. So yeah,
that was one of those ones that are uncomfortable from the start.
yeah. And, I sense the theme too because I had that Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the family theme, like the creeper like the, you know what I mean, like that whole. Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on. Let's analyze this one. Halloween is, yes, it's family creeping on family, but sure enough, those kids in the mental ward became like a family away from home. There we go. Texas Chainsaw Massacre for sure.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs. That's a family
not that
favorite.
Family film.
Yeah.
Family film.
The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, dude. I feel like you're trying to tug at our heartstrings here.
Either that or I'm bringing up bad memories. I don't know, one or the other.
The Hills Have Eyes is like almost like one of those another one shot from the angle, and you kind of get you just feel the uncomfortableness and the claustrophobia right away.
Yeah, even just thinking about it now just makes me uncomfortable. Like that. Yeah. Oh man, some of the shit, and obviously you you feel better as she's smashing the one dude's face with a rock, and you're like, all right, like there's some redemption, you know. But yeah, that movie's definitely definitely still to this day makes me feel a certain way.
It's a good one. Okay, Eric. Round 5.
Yes, this movie I'm taking is based on off of a true story, and it is The Conjuring. That's another movie that just freaks me out, man. With like you have the parts of possession, and you have the people just going nuts. I can't even describe it. It freaks me out just trying to describe this movie because they've made like 3 or 4 of them since the original one, and they've all gotten creepier as they go on. It's like when you think they can't get any creepier, they do, and they're not like a mind fuck. It's like legit like suspense horror. You know, it's that kind of thing where you're shaking the whole time. Yeah, man, The Conjuring. I don't know if you guys have seen them or not, but they kind of freak me out. Like I've watched the first one, kind of like what Sean said with his last pick. Like he's watched it a second time. I can't watch it again. I can't. I just cannot watch them. Like I've tried seeing the sequels, and I just can't do it.
So that's like with the creepy nun thing, right? Is that the creepy nun-ish?
The first, it's got like that old woman in it, and she's like
The lead is awesome too. In The Conjuring, I'm trying to remember her name right now.
Wasn't she
Vera
Farmiga.
Farmiga, or what was her name? Farmiga. I love that
Farmiga
shit.
or something like that.
Yeah, wasn't she in what was the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon? They're cops. He's an
The
undercover-
Oh,
yeah, she's the
Departed.
therapist.
Yeah.
There was
Yep.
like a witch nun thing in The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's not what the universe is based around. Or I have not seen any of the Conjuring films. Like the kids thought I was nuts. My kids know I love horror, but I'm like, okay. I have a steadfast rule, and I'll just say it right now. Just kind of break up. Anything that I feel like can be solved with like a bar of soap and some detergent and some conditioner, like dirty little white girls coming out of wells, don't scare me. Those aren't creepy. You know what I mean? They're not creepy. It's not okay. Anything that can be solved with a manicure, I'm not. You know, like, all right, sweetie, like, just do me a favor. I know you were wronged. I get it. Let's go buy you something at the mall, okay? You know, if it can be solved that way, or you know what I mean?
Oh, you want that Barbie doll? Okay.
Yeah, like you just want to be hugged. I got you. Like I get it, sweetie. Like you were trapped in a well. It just doesn't feel good. If you're around, let me help you out. I got you. That doesn't feel scary to me.
What kind of happened with Michael Myers? If he had just been loved as a kid?
Sure.
You know?
Sure. But he's also like 6'4" and can rip my head off. I just can't talk that one out. 100 men or one Mike Myers. I'm taking one Mike Myers. All right. It's The Conjuring. So you're just taking the original. That was like with Vera. That one I think I may have seen.
Yeah, I'm talking that one. Yeah, that's yeah, I mean you're talking what that came out at I think it was 2013, I think.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that one I did see. That was more haunting, like Amityville horror type esque, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, good name drop there too.
Yeah. All right. Just want to make sure I was making sure the first one I had seen, and I do agree that's a good pick, man. All right, Conjuring in. Fuzzy, why don't you give us your shitty round 5 pick?
Sure, go fuck yourself. So this one, I was kind of on the edge. I didn't know if I wanted to pick the first one or the third one. I really like the third one, so I don't really put it in there as a horror movie, although it is considered a horror movie. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with The Purge, the 2013 one, the original. I'm going with The Purge.
Bastard.
So, you know, it's one
another
of those.
all that shit.
It's it's just it's so good. Like the storyline about, just getting away with murder and crime for one day, and then how it's supposed to boom the stock market and get rid of all dead society. The second one was okay, but the third one was one of my favorite ones with the election year. But for me, it's the original Purge.
The whole premise, you think like, all right, what side of the fence would I be on? Would I get revenge on some people that I hate, or would I just kind of lock my door and hope I survive the night?
Some people are saying it's not so far fetched. They're saying it's a beautiful idea.
I would definitely try to be the guy selling all the like I'd be the Ethan Hawke. I want to sell everything, make the money, lock myself in every year, and just keep making money the other 364 days a year.
The purge. I came up with that word, purge. It's a beautiful word. No one has ever thought of that word before. The purge.
But now everybody's saying the purge. We should be purging, purge.
Purge.
But for a low rate of 1
Charge
million.
tariffs.
I'm sorry,
Charge
what's that?
tariffs on the purge.
I'm sorry, what's that, Stephen Miller? For 5 bajillion Trump dollars, you two could have a purge license.
For the record, I took my camera off so that you didn't zoom in on my single fucking basement like Sean did to his co-host last week.
Oh
with his
God!
curtains.
Oh man, Dude, that was
hilarious.
So everyone was virtual on our show last Friday, and Ryan goes to get up to get a smoke, and I'm like, let's take a look. So I solo on his curtains, and his curtains are tied. They've just knotted. They weren't even like, man, motherfucker should buy some fucking rubber bands or something. At least it'll look better. And then we're like looking at his pillows, and
it was like a breakdown of this guy's couch and his curtains.
And then we went back, and then he still wasn't back yet. So we're talking. I'm like, no, you know what? We got more to talk about. And I zoomed back in again. And we're going through it. So then, like a week later, Ryan's like, "What the fuck, my curtains?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess you finally watched the stream."
I used to pull the best bit during the pandemic. I used to take, when people walked away, I used to take a screenshot of their house. And then I would make it my green screen, and I would make it like I was there. They're like, yo, I got the same curtains.
Oh, man.
Yo, the best was I had this awesome coworker. I took a picture of it, and she had custom pillows of her kids on the top of her sofa. And she's like, yo... She's like, Newman, why are my kids in your house? I was like, no, those are my kids. She goes, those kids are black. I'm like, I know, they're mine. I'm like, they're my kids. She's like, no, they're not. That's my living room. I was like, I love you, Hopsy. You're the best.
That's funny.
And that's a shout out to you, girlie, if you're watching. All right. The Purge. That's a good one because that does scare. That's one you actually leave out of the theater afterwards, and you have to realize everything's safe, and you can kind of walk outside.
Yeah.
And you feel kind of spooked by a dark parking lot, right?
Or just the person walking beside you, like a little extra, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about what I said to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Trust your wife afterwards.
Yeah.
JV, can you purge us out of round 5?
Hey now.
So my next one, I decided I want to have a little fun in this too. So there's some horror movies out there that have comedy to them. This one has probably more comedy than horror, but it has elements of what we consider horror movies. And my movie is Zombieland.
That's a really good movie.
Love that movie.
Yeah, I love it. Movie.
Hilarious. There's a couple of jump scenes, not many, but just, they're always fighting off the zombies, so that's the horror side of it. But, just when my favorite is when the old lady goes running, or the sister goes running into the church and drops the piano on the zombie chasing her. Like, that's the best one. When the Browns get to go to the Super Bowl a couple of times. So.
Yeah, no, Zombieland is a fun movie. I really dig it. Like I'm not a fan of Jesse Eisenberg too much, but he's really good in that. It's kind of sad that he had to kill off Amber Heard in the very beginning of it, but I was like, that kind of sucks. But no, Zombieland's a good one, man. Yeah, Zombieland's a good one.
Cheered. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny's like, yeah, it's shit on my bed.
I love the Ghostbuster references in the movie. Like it's so well. They just did such a great job with that.
Enjoy the little things. We're shooting Uzis into the air and painting the number 3 on a Hummer. You know.
The random Bill Murray cameo, I think, was it was just so. I'm like, how are they gonna get? Like, is Bill Murray now in this movie? Okay, no, he's not. Okay, great. There we go. Well done. In and out. I was like, oh no, they did it. Okay, yeah, well, they did exactly what they should have done.
Yeah, it was a great way to get rid of him, and I love his take on it too, as the character be like, oh, probably shouldn't have came in so hot on that one, huh? But
Woody Harrelson's complete jerk off in it, which was great.
Oh, gotcha.
The tears thing, but I like everyone has a proper arc in a movie that shouldn't be as deep as it is. It's trying to appear shallow, but it's way deeper than it is. Lots of layers, and I appreciated it. It was a good one.
The whole puppy versus kid thing,
Yeah, good one, dude. Good pick.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you you definitely purge us out of that? Why don't you roll us into round 6?
All right. So this next one, it's spooky because it's something that it's based on a true story. It obviously can happen. A little bit more far-fetched and harder to happen, but you think you're doing the right thing, and it turns out that you invited a psycho into your house and starts killing people, and falling in love with the wrong people, like the whole thing, and trying to take over the family. And I enjoyed Orphan.
I had no idea what you were going to go with. I really didn't.
The original one?
The one a couple years ago with the chick from Hunger Games was in it too.
Yeah.
Jennifer
Lawrence.
That's the one with
the chick from Hunger Games.
She was a minor character in there. The
Oh,
girl Vera was in it as well.
I know.
So it was 2009. So it was
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Let me get to her. I forget.
Christian Bale.
Oh my god.
All right.
Isabel Furman. She played Esther.
Orphan.
She played the killer. And if you watch the original Hunger Games, she was like District 1 or District 2, whatever, girl that just killed people.
I thought you were talking about
one of the
Donald
creators.
Sutherland.
Yeah.
Okay.
That chick.
Yeah.
All right. Raise your hand here if you've seen Orphan.
I saw the original one. I didn't see the. Right? Am I thinking the right thing? Right? That was a remake, wasn't it? The one that just came out recently.
The one that just came out. It's not called Orphan, but it's the same
Okay.
idea behind it. So the new one that came out, the girl has like physical deformities, so like you can see her handicaps. Like she has crutches to walk with, and like her face is a little messed up. Whereas the one from 2009, the her character is underdeveloped, never grows past looking, I think, like 10 years old or something. So that's the basis behind it. But she's looks 10, but she's really 30 and a killer. So,
all right.
Sounds kind of hot.
Yeah, I mean, to go on. Fuzzy, you take us to 6. Can you re-foster a new pick?
The last 2 minutes that just happened.
Yeah.
So I do have a good one, and I was gonna save it for that, but I won't. After that, I'm gonna do it. This movie, just I don't know why. I don't know why it's like a little scary to me, but like I don't know why it's got a lot of jump screams in it, and it's Jeepers Creepers.
Very good.
Yeah.
I want to know how he got a license. Like, how was he allowed to drive around You know, like following people. And he had a license plate. Like it wasn't like it was just like he stole a car. He had a license plate that said Jeepers on it, right? Or Creepers, whatever it was, on the license plate.
Yeah, like where are these people getting licenses? Michael Myers drove in Halloween.
Right.
This
He's
dude's got
crazy.
his own car with his own license plate. Like, the hell, man?
What's his face? Justin Long. The way that movie ends was like, whoa, like unsettling.
That was freaky.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, man, that was weird. Like I was expecting that. Yeah, he was good in that movie. I like Jeepers Creepers. He damn, there was another one too. I got to think of it. There's another one. No. It's something that I thought was going to be a franchise. Like there's another horror movie and just never took off, and I was kind of disappointed by that. Damn.
Like
and
you're talking like a character, like almost like a Candyman type franchise.
Yeah, well,
that
he
you thought was gonna
reminds
pop off.
he reminds me of the Jeepers Creepers guy. I'll have to look it up. I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a
No, it's good.
ADD tangent there.
Have you not seriously been here for the last hour and 15 minutes?
I know.
This whole thing is is an ad for medication for adults. Like I don't like. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're doing fine. No, Jeepers Creepers. Was that first one or the second
Long
one
term.
where with the bus where he rips off the bus thing? That's the second
Second.
one.
That's the
Yeah.
second one.
I remember that. That was
Ray-
a cool scene.
Yeah, because who was it? It was the one guy, Ray Law. God, I can't think of his name. He was in the second one.
Dude, when the wings pop out, I was like, "What the fuck? What is going on here with this guy?"
Yeah. It got progressively, obviously, and they, people were like, "All right, I guess 2 was enough." But then, nope. I think there was a third one.
There was.
Ray
There's
Wise.
3 of them.
There's like
That-
10.
That's who was in it.
Ridiculous.
Ray Wise. Oh.
Yeah, Ray Wise. He played the Taggart. The guy's name was Taggart. Yeah.
He was great in RoboCop.
Well, actually,
What do
there's
you think
4
of
of them.
Is there a fourth one? I was just about to ask you that maybe there might
Yep.
even be a
I've
schlock
seen
It's-
2.
fourth.
It's called Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Okay.
Oh.
I could have sworn there. I was about to ask, is there a fourth?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. All right, man. It got progressively weirder, clearly. But,
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Eric, can you do better than Jeepers Creepers?
Let's see. I don't know, man. Actually, I'm going a little more back to the slasher films for this one, just because I thought the story was kind of cool. It was different. It was kind of reimagining of the slashers. We joked about it a little bit beforehand, but I'm going with the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I thought the storytelling of it, the whole concept that Wes Craven came up with was just completely awesome. This concept of a serial killer coming back to kill all the children of the people that murdered him through their dreams. Like I just found that to be such an amazing psychotic storyline. Like you got to be pretty messed up to come up with something like that. But that was definitely that. Just to the storyline alone and the creepiness of it, like this burned guy coming back with knives on his hand, killing kids. It was being a pedophile, basically. That's why he got burned. But yeah, that was. I just love that one.
Yeah, that movie just showed you how stupid parents are because, you're seeing these kids die and then your daughter's telling you, oh, it was Fred Krueger. And like, nah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Nah, listen to me. Nah, I'm going to continually drink my bottle of vodka.
And I'm gonna shake you until you get it into your head, Nancy. That's not real. We killed him.
The one scene that I still find pretty creepy was actually there's 2. There's one with their bodies going up the wall and all that. The other one is when she's in a body bag and she sees her in the classroom, and then she gets
Yep.
dogged by no one.
Drag her through the hallways and then in the boiler
Leeches are
room.
coming out of her mouth. That
Yep.
was good stuff.
Yeah, that it's stuff like that I loved about that movie.
Great effects on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw the remake of it with
Oh, it was
Jackie
fucking
Earl Haley.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Was that a
It
new
was-
Nightmare?
No, that
it
was,
was
it
the
was
No.
remake.
Elm Street.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it was an actual remake.
with Rorschach, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jackie Earl Haley, yeah.
He should have stuck to.
I'm not
Hey,
locked in
who's
here. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
They should have just made Rorschach Freddy Krueger. Would have been a better movie. I don't know what the hell. It was a shame because you wanted it to be good because you're like, all right, new technology. They could really do something with this. Reinvent the whole franchise. All that stuff. Robert Englund was in his 70s or whatever when the movie came out,
And they made Freddy Krueger 5'4". Like, come on.
and he didn't look right.
But you just mentioned though that like new technology, like there's a scene where the girl is going into the drugstore and she's literally going in and out of consciousness. She's on her back trying to get away, and she's going in and out of her reality and into this dream world with him following her. That scene was actually really cool. It was probably the best scene of the whole movie.
Yeah, it was like flashing. Like
Yeah,
that.
it was like strobe lights.
Fluorescent lights were going out and stuff. Yeah, that was insane.
And every time the lights went out, she was in the boiler room. And then when the lights came back on, she was back on the floor in the store running from him, and he was like right there the whole time. That was a pretty cool scene.
I'm just okay. Now I gotta double check, Eric. When you said Nightmare on Elm Street, you don't mean the remake. You mean the OG.
I mean the original. Yeah,
Okay,
the
okay.
original.
You're just throwing You're throwing a little bit of props. To
Well, I asked if anyone had seen the remake.
All right, I just want to make sure because I just would have put a line through your entire pick right there, and it was a stretch.
No.
Did not sign.
Now I have to. I do want to say one thing though. Out of my 6 picks, I literally on my list I have the first 5 movies that I wrote down.
This feels very personalized, and I like that actually. I like that you are bumping some heads, but it's because it's the big names. I'm a little annoyed right now, but you have one more round to redeem yourselves. I need to see at least one of these motherfucking things on come up. If they don't,
Are you keeping tally of how many times the ones that Fuzzy said nobody would have, we
2.
actually have?
It was 2. Relax. It was 2.
it was enough for me to be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Here we go. How about we do this, Sean? Can you do better than Freddy?
I mean, Freddy's pretty good. I was actually going to go back and take Nightmare here because I had Nightmare at 5 on my list. Number 4 is still sitting here on my personal list. And not only when this movie came out was it just completely creepy, it's one of the few sequels that are better than the original, Aliens.
There you go.
It's just it was just it was creepier than the first because there's more of them. You thought you knew enough about these creatures because you watched the first movie already, but turns out there's a lot more to it. So
wait, there's more.
There's more of them. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Aliens. Like I said, I just don't. And again, one of the only reasons I took that over the original is because I just think it's a better movie than the original. Just better shot, better effects, all that stuff. Better, more scares, more jump scares. So
It's I was waiting for Alien to drop. I was waiting for Aliens to drop. Anything would have been acceptable. True OG horror right there. Sci-fi horror. Nice one.
in space, no one can hear you scream.
Right, and and listen, like
Private
Private Hudson was his lines were great. Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was that dude, man. He was always a character actor, right? He was never the lead role in anything. He was great in everything he was in. Did even Judgment Day, he was great. Like he was awful. And
Dude, I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah, he's in that. And even the very small role he has in Terminator, the very first Terminator, he's one of the punks.
Yep.
Maybe you aren't keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal. Like it's just like in the middle of like everything dying, You're fucking laughing at a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And he was like some dude, like he was almost like a dude like you would see at a bar. You know, like he'd talk like one of us, you know, you just hang out with him and shoot the shit with him all night. He was that type of dude, it seemed like. So
Yeah.
I loved him in Twister.
yeah.
Dude, that's like a must watch every time I see it on. I just can't shut it off.
Twister or Aliens?
Twister.
Okay.
Aliens and a twister.
There
That
you
would be
go.
interesting.
Aliens doing the twist.
Alienado.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Check, please.
They had the special. I had the special.
What did he have? Oh no, not this again. Oh, that was a nice tie-in to Aliens. Very good.
It was. That was. Nice job. Spaceballs.
Here we go. Your last pick, and I also want a kind of an intro to why was Aliens better than your seventh, because it really doesn't matter, but you did have a choice here to go Alien 6 and now 7. So,
Okay. I just think that we talked about the horror movie genre kind of ebbs and flows, right? And I think this movie has brought it back up again, especially the gore factor. Terrifier. Art the Clown has now become the new horror icon of this generation. Everyone knows who Art the Clown is. He's now the new Freddy Krueger or Jason. So Terrifier is my pick right here. I love these movies. I saw the last one in the theater, and I legit got on like very uncomfortable at several scenes, but especially now that I have kids.
Was Paul Rubin sitting next to you?
Not giving anything away, but kids are involved, and it's like, oh man, a couple scenes, and I'm like, damn man, they went over the top on this one. And for a theatrical release to get that kind of gore and violence and not be canceled is another thing. Like Art the Clown's a vicious bastard, and I love these movies so far. They've been awesome.
let me just tell you anecdotally, I've met Dave Thornton, who is Art the Clown. Funniest dude in the world.
Big metalhead too.
Yeah, big metalhead, very personable, but very like when he talks, everyone's listening in the room. I saw him at a con and kind of just like bumped into him, and it was maybe, God, when the first Terrifier may have came out, I was like, "Yo, are you the guy who took?" I was like, "Are you the guy who took over?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We're gonna be on panel." I was like, so I have a picture of him somewhere from like years ago at a con that I bumped into him at a horror con. Nicest dude in the world.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool dude.
That is one. Like I've been, I listened to Octane and what's his name, Jose Mangan talks about how much he loves this movie and the series, and I keep meaning to sit down and watch it. I haven't watched any of them yet, but I definitely it's on the list of stuff to sit down and watch.
Lots of
Just
very
gotta
good
find
practical effects, like Tom Servino level, next level practical effects. There is some CGI for
obvious reasons.
So
there's some
You
that
can't really kill people on TV.
no, so some of the
shut
CGI
up,
it
unless you're
actually just
involved
brings
with it.
down production cost of them having to reset the scenes a lot with the blood. So there are times where they've cut down like some of it, but it's really good. I dare you to find it. It's used in such a way that it's lighting is well done. The kills are done great in it. And every time he gets on the screen, you're like, you just keep in your head. You're like, run, motherfucker! That's a clown. That's crazy. Run, motherfucker!
Yeah. Like why aren't they? And that's the truth. None of them are like phased by this. They're like waving to him, like, "Hey,
Yeah, every time.
nasty
every time.
teeth,"
Like
and you're like,
The Geico commercial. Why can't we just get in the running car?
even the
Why
dude's
don't we
like,
just run away from the crazy looking guy?
Yeah.
Hello, I avoided Michael Myers on fucking Halloween.
Oh, your sister did too. It was great. We went to a haunted house, and it was me and my wife, Chris's sister, and her now husband, and we pull up and in, and there's a dude just walking around dressed as Michael Myers. She would not get out of the car,
That's funny.
and he even went like to nice mode and be like, broke character, like, hey, you're okay, come on out, like open the door for her. Complete opposite side of the car. She was running,
man.
like she would not come out of the car. It was hilarious. It was the greatest thing ever to watch.
That's why I love going to haunted houses. I might be a little spooked by it or jump scared by it, but watching people terrified is just so worth it to me. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, Terrifier is a very good one. Can you scare us even more, Eric?
Probably not. I don't think I can. I don't think I can scare you with after Terrifier. That was just. Yeah, no. Like he said, he's the new slasher Art the Clown. I'm just gonna go with one that I absolutely love. It was a movie from what you call it? Where is it at? Back in 1992. It kind of brought this horror character into a new light for a new generation of fans. But I'm going to go with Bram Stoker's Dracula.
90.
That was
Keanu.
Gary Oldman. Yeah, Gary Oldman. That was. Yeah, because around that time, Dracula was kind of like stale. It was just like the normal bloodsucker type thing, and they really went back to the roots
Winona?
of Dracula. Yes, Winona Ryder's in that.
Yeah, Winona, Keanu, Gary
Yep.
Oldman. Yeah.
Yep,
With the buns.
Yeah.
With the weird buns.
Yeah.
the weird buns.
The hair buns. Yeah.
Man, he was banging her as a werewolf too.
Oh, he's a little into that. Okay.
Oh yeah, he was all right. Yeah, no, I just absolutely love that movie. I will watch that every time it comes on. I think that is just like a modern classic. It was just really, really well done.
Yeah.
It's a
Good one.
Yep. I spooky. Does Fuzzy drain us with your last pick?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
I was going to go with that one too.
All right.
It was on my
Good one.
my extended list.
We got the wet pussy. We've got try.
Oh, Cheech Marin.
You'll find better pussy. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Great movie. Good question here. Did you guys see that twist coming? Did you know it was happening?
Not the first. No, I didn't.
No.
What
Yeah,
did
not
you
at
think
all.
you were gonna see when you went to go see From Dusk Till Dawn?
I mean, like I knew it was. You heard like there was going to be a vampire movie, but the way they did it, you kind of forgot. Like you're in the middle of watching it, and all of a sudden it's like, bam! It just hits you like a sledgehammer. Like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
That
So
opening scene, yeah, at the
you
bar.
get sucked into a Tarantino movie, right? It's a heist movie. Okay, now you're interested in this fact that Seth has got this weird. He's definitely messed up in the head. When he imagines Julia Dreyfus and she goes, "Hey, would you just eat my pussy?" Like he's like, "Wait, would you what?" And you're like, "Okay, this is totally weird. This is different." And then you forget, and then all of a sudden, Salma Hayek is biting the shit out of someone's fucking neck, and you're like, "Oh yeah." And then the dude has a gun in his holster on his dick. At some point, the movie gets out of hand.
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez, right, was heavily involved with that, right? And Tarantino.
Yeah.
And, obviously Rodriguez loves the guns as part of the body type of thing because
He directed it. I think it was his debut.
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Or one.
Tarantino was the writer, right?
Yeah, it was. His writing debut was maybe Desperado, or was that his directing debut?
Good question. I know. Rodriguez directed From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes,
El Morache was his first movie he directed.
Oh, okay.
Mirage. Oh, the third one. Okay, that was the first one he directed, which was like the remake of Desperado, I guess. Right, one of them.
It was like the origin story of
Yeah, yeah. But he wrote the other ones. Like he wrote.
Machete.
Yeah.
Machete.
Spy Kids.
Yeah, and by the way, those are bangers. Spy Kids and a Lava Boy and Shark.
Shark Boy.
Lava Girl and Shark Boy.
Lava Girl and Shark Boy.
Yeah, bangers, certified bangers. I had to watch them with my kids, but you know what, Robert Rodriguez, you did damn good job with those.
Spy Kids came out in 2001. Grow up.
My kids found them on
Your TV.
Yeah, I mean they were
Because you were
10 years
watching it?
old. Yeah, they were 10 years old when they found them. Don't act like Netflix. They weren't just. Come on, the pandemic was a long time. All right, this is our very, very, very last pick.
Oh man.
So I'm going to tell you right now, unless JV saves you all, the current rating is you have a D minus.
Wow.
D minus. I need you to
There's
hit.
no pressure here.
I need you to hit one of these to at least for you
Yeah.
guys to go up to a C plus.
Yeah, we got to hit on one of them with JV. The fuck
So-
out of here. We're gonna be a fucking F minus.
Okay, man.
I've been battling back and forth on this one. Do I want to go campy or do I want to go just an enjoyable horror movie that gets a lot of love? I think I'm going to go with the love and go with Child's Play.
There you go.
Nobody ever wanted to kick a fucking baby doll, unlike
Right. When you never trusted one, it was a ginger, so we already got the bad rap as it was, and now this little doll is out there killing people. And you just wanted. I never looked at like My Buddy again. I never wanted that stupid little doll, My Buddy. I didn't trust it.
Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin ruined them.
This is our. This is our.
Teddy Ruxpin had a warm mouth. Oh wait,
Yeah, he
that was my
did.
inner thoughts coming out. Sorry.
Yeah, he did. Wait.
Let me tell you a story.
So here,
The best part was I found out later that you could put in any tape on a Teddy Ruxpin and
Yep. get
get it to move it. So I had Teddy Ruxpin at one point doing Richard Pryor.
I had Teddy Ruxpin singing "I'm Bad" by Michael Jackson.
Yeah, there was ways to kind of like
Motley Crue in there.
there were ways to hack it.
The guy who played Charles Ray in Child's Play is actually in Halloween 1 and Halloween 2,
Yes.
the remake.
Oh.
He's
Brad Lorre.
Brett Dorff.
Brad Dorff. Yeah.
I was gonna say Blades.
Actually, Brad Lorre played Michael Myers in one of the old movies. That's what I was. Okay. Yeah, Brad
I was
Dorff.
gonna say Blade. Motherfuckers always skating up in here.
Yep.
So, guys, this is you. This is. I'm just a casual observer. Sean, if you were gonna just say you caught this podcast and you were gonna catch this, you caught. Eric, he has The Exorcist, The Shining, Jaws, Sinister, The Conjuring, Nightmare on Elm Street, OG, and Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Fuzzy has Final Destination 2, It Chapter 2, Candyman, Scream, The Purge, Jeepers Creepers, From Dusk Till Dawn. JV has finaled out with Final Destination, The Blair Witch Project, House of a Thousand Corpses, Identity, Zombieland, Orphan, Child's Play. What grade would you give your fellow guest? And it's okay. You can give whatever letter grade. It doesn't have to mean anything. You can be a favorable teacher. You can be a strict teacher. Did you win? Did someone else win? Talk to us.
So based on and I'm just basing this off the list that I came up with, personal preference, right? That's what it basically comes down to.
Yeah.
Most of the ones that I crossed off near the top were ones that I picked, or like Jaws was near the top, Nightmare 1, and I'm trying to think there was another one here. The Shining was near the top of my list. Exorcist was third on my list. So there was a few.
Okay.
There's a lot on here that I would have put other movies ahead of. So, movies like the and you were talking about doing the other round. Is that just the discussion, or can I bring up other titles?
So you can bring in honorable mention, but I'm not letting you get away yet.
Yeah.
From if you have to pick someone from this list, and you're like, yo, you have to see this movie with this person for the rest of your life, who are you picking?
I would probably go with Eric's list.
Okay.
Just because The Exorcist, The Shining, Jaws, to me, those three are so strong.
Yep.
Obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not as familiar with Sinister. I only saw it once, I think, and then Bram Stoker's Dracula was excellent. The Conjuring was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Fuzzy's list is great. I mean, like he said, Final Destination too. Like to me, I wouldn't have picked in the first round. That's just me. But he's right in the fact that you think about that movie all the time when you're
a log.
behind. Yeah, I did it last week.
Yep.
It obviously it was great. Candyman was a good movie. Scream reinvented this franchise, the horror genre. And I thought Jeepers Creepers was good, and then JV, he's got the first Final Destination. Blair Witch I didn't care for. House of Thousand Corpses, gore central was fun. It was a fun movie. Zombieland again, fun movie. Child's Play to me never scared me. So, but again, those are fun movies though. But yeah. So out of the three, I would go with
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Eric, I'm gonna add in just you've heard everyone else's list. We've got Sean with Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, The Hills Have Eyes, Aliens, Terrifier. Who are you seeing a movie with?
Wait, say that again. Who am I seeing a movie with?
Between Sean, Fuzzy, and JV. Their list, you got that right there in full view in front of you. Who are you seeing a movie with?
I would sit down with Sean and watch a movie because I really enjoy like his picks.
Okay.
Like I'm a huge Halloween fan. We got the connection there with Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet.
Ah, Jesus Christ. I was waiting for it. But I was going to say the one that I really liked the most was he brought it up like with Terrifier. That was one that was on my list as well because he, like he said, Art the Clown is literally the new, he's part of Michael Myers, Leatherface and all those guys, that with the slasher genre. And I feel I kind of feel like we kind of got like the same taste in the horror films section. So I think it would be a cool conversation. It'd be pretty cool to see. So yeah, I would say Sean.
There we go. We got Sean 1 vote, Eric 1 vote.
Plus,
All
I
right,
put a hole in the bottom of the popcorn, so we have fun.
There you go. There you go.
This already. I think we just set up a match here. JV, who are you going on a date with?
See, I'm torn because it's, Fuzzy it's all movies that I've seen and I enjoy, and I would go watch them again. But also at the same time, wanting to see some things that I haven't seen before, like a Sean's list, like Terrifier, and believe it or not, I've never seen Silence of the Lambs.
Oh man,
What
Wow.
the fuck?
I know.
Oh, man.
I just never got around to just sit down and watch it from front to end.
It's like not
You know.
seeing the Goonies.
Yeah. So, I think those are those two movies, not having seen them and wanting to watch the other ones again. I think I would have to say Sean.
Okay.
But it's close with Fuzzy. I like to rewatch movies a few times as well. So
Tummy of the week.
Wrong show, but we could throw it up there. I mean, I'm sure.
listen,
Wow.
I'll take it for not having seen Silence of the Lambs. It was just whenever it was on HBO, I just before streaming, I never felt like watching it. And now, even now, like it's tough because everybody doesn't go to bed until 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I don't want to sit up watching horror movies of any kind that late myself because I'm that much of a pussy that I won't sleep that well. So,
The cool part is like we're all like, all of us have obviously like the horror movie genre because there's some deep finds in all of everyone's list here. There's some really good ones here, and
There's a lot of disappointment, I would say. But go ahead.
And everyone kind of thought, well, I mean, personal preference. I mean, House of Thousand Corpses. even think about that movie. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that was a good one because like it definitely classifies as a horror movie and it's over the top gore and all that stuff. And
I had all three of that
Twisted.
series on there and just was debating on where to put them. When my rough list that I make every time I do this, I just put them out, and I hit House of 1,000 Corpses, the Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell, and like I had them all ready to go, and I'm like ranking them. I'm like I just getting edged out here and there by a couple of movies, but
Yeah.
like Zombie is one of my favorite guys out there.
Yeah, I just when I first met my wife, she knew I was a horror fan, and she actually had told her on our first date. Apparently, she had told her dad, "If you don't hear from me, text," because I'm not sure if this guy's a serial killer or not. She was like, and then she talked me out of getting Michael Myers' face tattooed. Like I was gonna get it tattooed on my chest, and then she said, that'd be a bad idea of coming at me with that thing. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about you. I was only thinking about me. So I kind of didn't do that. So
He's like, I'm just so used to looking in the mirror and making eye contact. I just wanted something to really just flex my
eyes.
chest at. I was like, oh, he's mad at me tonight. Ooh.
The darkest eyes.
Fuzz, you got you see what's in front of you. Who you going to the theater with? Woodhaven 8? No, what is it? Woodhaven 10?
Woodhaven 8.
Yes, it's 10. So, shockingly, there are 4 movies on here that I have not seen.
Mm-hmm.
One from Sean, one from Eric, and 2 from JV.
I'm gonna say one from your own list. That'd be awesome.
So, no, my name is not JV. But I would go with Sean because again, Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. But I have never seen Terrifier. I have never seen Sinister. I have never seen Orphan. And I have never seen A House of 1,000 Corpses.
Well, I hope you wrote these down so you can watch them. You'll love them.
Sean?
Let's see how stinky those fingertips can get.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations. Everybody wants to be your friend.
I got a movie for you. Did anyone ever see Nightbreed?
Oh yeah, with the face thing and like they almost look like they're slashes and they're like yes, of course I've seen it. Hold on. Things that I am super disappointed in. Here we go. I'm gonna let you know. Here's what you did not include. The Thing.
No.
That's on my list.
Okay.
No.
That is a truly terrifying suspenseful because at the end of it you still have no idea.
That was Carpenter's follow-up to Halloween.
It was.
Yeah.
Little known
it
fact.
was.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Little known fact: the helicopter, the guys, I believe, they're yelling. They're talking in Swedish. They're yelling, "Shoot the dog! It's an alien! Shoot the dog! It's not human. It's not a dog."
Huh.
And they still they shoot at the helicopter and blow it up. I love that. It's a very small little. The subtitles ruin it too. All right. Second one, not on there. Very disappointing.
The Human Centipede.
Event Horizon.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I haven't seen that one.
whoa!
That's it. That's an alien flick, like a deep sea flick, right?
It is.
No, that's Leviathan.
Leviathan.
Well, Event Horizon is also another sci-fi, but it is. There's a scene in there. The captain of it when he says when this one particular actor says we should get the fuck out of here.
Lawrence Fishburne.
There we go. He says we should be getting the fuck out of here. And
Takes the blue pill.
yeah. That one messed me up when I was like a teenager. That definitely spooked me. Just because it was very psychological. The last one I don't think gets enough credit in some circles, and I want to turn you guys on to this one. It would be Joss Whedon's Cabin in the Woods.
That's on my list.
That's on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the more creative movies I've ever seen. Like, I did not see that twist coming at the. I don't. Has everyone seen it?
I
No,
don't.
but I don't care about
Yeah, I'm not
spoilers.
gonna
No, hold on.
No,
This
you
is
got to
it's
see it.
everyone. I would never do this to anyone because it is one of the most highly rated horror films. I never spoil it for anyone. It is so worth not having it spoiled for you,
Yes.
and I will shut anyone up now. Please do not do that.
Yeah, but
All
it
right.
just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, "What in the world?" And it gets
I
better.
recommend watching it. Yeah, it gets better as it goes on. Just watch that movie; you'll love it.
Great movie.
Not Cabin Fever. Cabin in the Woods. Such a clever reinvention of the genre, explains the genre. You kind of go like, we've brought up quite a few points tonight about the genre that we complained about, and this one kind of actually goes it one step further to go, we know you thought about that. And they kind of and they keep you on your toes, and I really appreciate them for doing that. Also, I'll just say it right now, Chris Hemsworth, death scene. What?
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Boys,
I
let's
jotted that
go.
down to watch it.
Let's go. Just to round us out, let's pick. What do you guys have time for? You will go for one honorable mention, or do you want to go for two? Is this itching at you that you have more on your list that you want to share, or good for one?
I'm
I'll
good
roll
for
with the
one.
crowd.
Good for one.
One. Okay.
All right, good for one. Who's brave to go for one?
So many.
Listen, I'll set the bar low.
Okay. Jingle. all
My
the way.
honorable mention, it's a movie that is so horrible that it's just fun to watch. It's full of gore. It makes zero sense. The storyline is horrendous. But I watched it just out of strict curiosity because I wanted to know, because copyright rules have expired on the main character of this, and it was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was horrible, but it was so bad. It was just enjoyable. It was like that guilty pleasure movie. The storyline is just ridiculously horrible. Plenty of gratuitous boobs. So, it covered the bases of what that kind of movie should be.
Who's boobs?
Nobody you know. I don't know any of the actors in it at all, ever. I even Googled them. Like, I went on IMDb, and I couldn't even tell you after that who they were. So,
You know, there's a sequel to that, right?
yeah.
Those
I-
lemon
there's-
stealing horrors.
Yeah. And then there's a Mickey
For those
Mouse
who
one,
know.
too, apparently.
It's Steamboat Willie, right? It's supposed to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steamboat Willie, and I think they're gonna pretty much milk this out for every
as soon as
IP
you
that
can,
goes. Yeah, that
Mhm.
goes public like that. All right, so I should check out Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I've heard it was terrible, but if it's terrible in a good way,
Oh,
I'm
it's
going
god
for it.
awful. Yeah,
Okay.
it's god awful, but
Okay.
you'll laugh watching it.
All right. Perfect. All right. I'm in. All right.
So that's mine. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, JV. Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh on it. Fuzz.
Creep Show, the original.
Creep Show, original Ted Danson.
Frank Drebin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Leslie Nielsen's in it.
Leslie Nielsen, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot all about that.
Creep Show. Ted Baxter. Was that Ted? Not Ted. Was it? No.
No.
Who's the guy who was creeped out by the bugs in the house? Was that Creep Show?
It's so long since I've seen that movie, man.
I might be mixing it up, but I almost thought that was Creep Show. With the bugs, the guy he was had like a hermetically sealed house and shit. Creep Show 2 was the one that stood out for me. I think more with the blob. Thanks for the lift,
Ed
lady.
Harris was in that.
Who was it?
Ed Harris was in Creep Show.
Who was he?
Hank Blaine. I don't remember him being in that.
I don't either.
There's not too many like big names, but yeah, I mean, like you said, Ted Danson, Ed Harris, Tom Savini's in it. Leslie Nielsen. Stephen King has a small role.
Hal Holbrook.
Hal Holbrook, yeah.
Okay, so that was a little more. I did not. I knew Savini worked on that one, in terms of the makeup, but he did that. He did, I think, a lot of the what felt like 80 schlocker horror, but then became the god of makeup.
Yeah.
And let's not leave out the most important person in the movie. George Romero was a huge.
Well, he wrote most of them, right?
He was a huge horror guy.
Yeah, I think Romero wrote most of those stories on the original one, or oversaw. I think the production of it. I know he directed it, but I don't know if he also wrote all of it. I think Stephen King wrote, didn't he?
Yeah, Stephen King had some.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Romero, I think, just directed, and Stephen King was the writer.
Bless you.
Very good pick. Any of the creep shows would have been acceptable, I think. What do you have for us, Eric?
I'm thinking between two of them.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with this one. It's just, I found it funny. It was a little campy, but I always enjoyed it. Fright Night.
Yeah. The original?
Jamie
The
Lee
original
Curtis.
Fright Night. Yeah.
Herman's Head.
Yeah.
Herman's Head.
Yep.
Yeah.
I totally enjoy. I mean, I even liked the remake of it. I thought it was pretty good. Fright Night was always a good one, a fun one for me to watch. I enjoy that one. That was good.
That came out in
85, I believe.
Yeah, I was 6 years old when I saw it, and it absolutely destroyed me as a 5-year-old. They showed it. I was at a friend's house, and they were like, "Yeah, let's just throw it on. Everyone watch it." First time I saw vampires, I didn't trust any neighbor after that.
You didn't trust Prince Humperdinck?
Yeah. The one where his best friend gets fucked up and he has to hit him with the crucifix and burns his. Oh, that was good, but that definitely messed me up. And I think he was one of the very first vampires with one of the sharpest set of fangs, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was not cool. Not cool for 6-year-old me. After that, I fell in love with horror, but that was the one that that was the one that I had nightmares about for weeks. Good one, Eric. You son of a bitch. Sean, what do you got for us?
All right, so I'm between so many of them here, but this one just keeps jumping out at me because when I saw it for the first time, I was actually in a cabin in the woods, and just remembering that just embedded that memory in me. The first Evil Dead.
I think you just made Keith come.
Yeah,
Been on the list.
Yeah,
As soon as you said it.
That movie's just insane. The gore is insane, and then
Anything
the second
Sam
one,
Raimi,
like
anything Sam Raimi is insane.
yeah, and then the second one like makes no sense because the girl's back, and I'm like, wait, she died in the first, and then
Okay.
Tara's back, and the whole
They
all
explain
that.
it all. There's a whole. It's a universe. It explains that was always destined to happen ad infinitum until he broke the loop by going back in time.
Okay, what in that Army of Darkness?
Army of Darkness. He was in
okay.
a never-ending loop of that always going to happen or a variation of it. Yes.
Okay.
Army by him going into he broke that loop and then ended up fighting the Deadites on his own terms, and there's more to it, and I love the whole entire. But good to you, sir. I was hoping somebody was going to get anything Evil Dead. I would have accepted anything Evil Dead during the real draft, but
I was between that, The Descent. I thought was a good movie, and then the other one, the last one I had was Poltergeist, and even
on my list too.
Even more scary than the movie itself was what happened off camera. The girl died, like all these crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Happened. People were dying left and right, and but
heroin.
Yeah, man, I thought we all had pretty good lists today, man. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I like that these lists all speak to you guys, but There's nothing here that I think I would absolutely throw out and say should not be on a list somewhere.
Yeah, I think every one of them, like you said, tied into the person doing it. It wasn't like had to be absolutely scary 100% of the time. We realized we could have some fun with horror movies as well.
Yeah, like Zombieland. Like Zombieland,
Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what movies are supposed to be fun, right? I mean, they're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be entertaining, and that's the whole point of them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, boys, you did much better than expected. We're coming in at a clean 2 hours on that one. Sean and Eric, thank you so much for joining us on this. It made it that much more interesting.
Sure. If I'm just going to call it right now, if I get the #1 spot for comedies, I'm picking Schindler's List. All
it's
right?
a banger. It's a banger.
I'm just
that red
that
jacket, it's a hoot every time. Gets me every time.
I was going to go Passion of the Christ, but all right.
Yeah. Who wants to hang around to see that? We know how it ends.
I can see my house from here.
What can I? Oh, shit. All right. What can I say? It was a wild party. Things got out of hand.
Oh, dear old Pontius Pilate.
Boys, thank you so much. It's always an open invite for draft night. Always kind of expand stuff. Sean, plug what you got, please.
Yeah, I got a book out. No one likes this, but we do care. You can go on Amazon and get it. If you're a Philadelphia sports fan, you're going to love it. All kinds of stories shared in it. And then Corner Pub Sports, we're not a hiatus, but we're taking a break for about a month. It's just scheduling. But usually we're Friday nights at 8:15, Corner Pub Sports. Thanks, Chris. Chris got the book right there. Yeah, so check us out and come join the crazy family we have over there as well.
It's fun. It's very interactive, very fun, and everyone can take a joke over there. It doesn't matter. Come at their next. They love it.
Listen, the two shows I watch are DPF and Corner Pub Sports.
Yep.
Yeah,
religiously, for sure. Eric, plug what you got, sir.
All right. Well, you got me and Chris on the Philly podcast. You can see right here on the Broken Bell Network. We usually are every Wednesday night at 9:00, and you can find us on all of our socials. Chris has his up there, or ours at CEV Sports on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call that little world. You can find us on Facebook at the Philly podcast. Yeah, man, but it's good stuff. That's where you can find us at.
Awesome. Thank you very much for both of you joining us. Until next time, schedule will be up for our next draft night. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Too spooky for me.
Thank you.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball. Here we go.